Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to this beautiful new week. So, there's so many things coming through. Oh my gosh, there's so many things coming through, and this is why I'm here, and it's such an honor to be here. So, let's really see what's coming through today, okay? Because honestly, I've been getting super activated in the past days, and it's been like, whoa. So, thank you for being here. It's an honor. It's such a pleasure. So, let's just tune in on what's happening right now, okay? Hello, Lavita. How are you? And again, I'm not sure why, honestly, on Instagram, I cannot see your comments, and it's been like that for a while. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I love to see the comments and reply back. So, okay, so as I was sitting here and setting up like the live video, there was this sensation in the heart. So, awakening goes in waves, right? And so like there is this wave. Hi, Peter, so good to have you. There's this wave of like opening up the backside of the heart more towards the left side, so the feminine energy. So like the feminine energy, like the creative force, the flowy part, but also like the channels, right? The rooting comes more from the space of the masculine, the whole space for the feminine. But so here it is the point where like that part is coming more into its strength, it's coming more into that of like, I got this. I don't need to hide. So I'm gonna be okay with opening up my heart and really opening up like my space of being, how I choose to be, rather than how I've been told to be. Okay. And now the other part, the beginning part of the wave, if we can say like this, is that part of the masculine. The masculine actually holding space for the feminine to do its work, right? So like the space of feeling secure around your own being, the space of being like, I will put my boundaries if necessary, out of self-love. I will put my boundaries so then I can feel safe within myself, and I don't need like any external the word that is coming through right now is wars, and any external wars that will pop in and out and just make me feel that I'm not secure, right? So in this space, knowing where the boundaries are, setting up the healthy boundaries, okay? So this is all for you. Okay, this is made out of unconditional love, not because you don't like somebody, but it's really because like you know how your space is. So the heart as it's expanding, like so like the thing that is I'm being shown right now is like the merge of the heart, right? So it starts for both sides, because both sides need to be, oh, I don't want to say need, but like both sides will become conscious of each other. The masculine will be conscious of itself, the feminine will be conscious of itself, and then they will be conscious of each other. And this is when the dance comes in, and this is when the balance comes into the heart space. And then the heart is like, okay, cool, now we're working together, now we're not separate, we're not just the masculine and the feminine, we are the union, we are the marriage of this, right? So there is no gender, we're just it. But as this dance and this union comes, it's really about like shedding the layers, what has been keeping the masculine hidden and what has also keeping the feminine hidden. So then as this happens, then the little channels, I don't want to call it little, but this is what came out, the channels like open up in between the spaces of them too, so they can actually see each other and just be like, I recognize you. Just it's a very similar feeling to when you see a soul family that you've never seen before, and all of a sudden like there's this person in front of you, you're like, I know you. I know you. So it's the same similarities where like masculine is like, I know you, and the feminine is like, I know you. And so then it's like, they come. So like let's think about this, right? So like when it's about like when it comes to union, a marriage, right? Two people, and I'm talking about giving you an example, two people must actually know each other, right? I mean, it could also, of course, it could also happen that they just barely knew each other and then decide to get married, right? But this becomes something from past life that they actually have to work something or they remember something from past lives. But like normally speaking, like in order to actually marry somebody, you must get to know them, you must like them, perhaps you even moved in with them to know their habits and see like what actually, like what triggers you or not, what you can work together, what you dislike, what you approve, etc. Right? So this is the dance that these two energies are doing at the heart. They're like realizing, so like I know you are divine. So like these are the two energies, okay? So like I know you are divine and I see those aspects of you, but now there are other things that are coming through and they're playing the role of you, like meaning the stories, the stories of the feminine, the story of the masculine. They're just playing and in a way using those energies as puppets, right? Like I like to call it. And so they both can see it, right? So it's divinity looking at divinity itself. And it can see past this barrier, past this mirror-like thing that is distorted. And so as they are seeing these things, they're holding space for each other to just like work these things out. Because again, just like in any relationship, the masculine will show the feminine like the perfect mirror for her to work through many things, just like the feminine will show the masculine the perfect mirror, so it can look at itself and be like, oh, okay, so this is not me and I gotta work through this. So there's so much power happening behind the scenes, you guys, because they're both are aware of each other and they're both are working on shedding these layers to be seen by itself, so then they can merge, right? So there's a lot of shedding. So here comes like the waves of awakening, right? So for some, they are in a way recently, this is just a word, not necessarily recently, but recently working through all those things. It might feel very heavy, so many things coming through, perhaps even anger coming up to the surface, or anxiety, or just like, what is going on? In the other side of the spectrum, if we want to call it, there's others that have been actually doing this work and they feel lighter because they recognize that is what's happening. So the more, again, that you are in the journey, that it doesn't make you better than somebody else. You just have more experience, you just have more wisdom because you've been in this conscious journey longer than somebody that just became aware that there's such things as the masculine and the feminine energies. So this is like a little spectrum that I can give you. Wow, there's so much energy coming through that I can share with you, So then, like, remember that if there's so many things coming out to the surface and you feel overwhelmed, just remember that behind the scenes there's so much happening. Behind the scenes, that marriage, the union, your divine union that really wants to be completed is like moving things around, So like excavating, right? So the two energies, if you want to visualize it, the two energies behind the scenes, and I like to call it like that way, so that you are at the front, right? And like right behind you, like the two energies are excavating things, right? Just like this, to create room, to move things around. It's just like a magician, you guys, literally like the alchemist, right? This is what's happening. So amazing. Okay, I'm so excited because this is really fascinating. Okay, so they're both excavating, right? And they're excavating to make the room to meet each other when they need to meet, right? So we can say that they're kind of like going this direction, not necessarily, but this is so you get an idea. They're going like this direction, right? And they're excavating. So they're finding their own way. As they're excavating, they're shedding layers. The mirror is still happening, whether they can see it fully or not. Because even though they are in a somewhat different path, there's still that connector that like they can see each other if they're willing to see each other. If they stop for a second as they're excavating and they stop and then take a break and then they're like, oh, you're there, okay, cool, thank you, and I see it. So on those moments where for example the feminine goes like, you're there, and then those moments where like somebody just begun the journey, it can feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with this information, you know, because there's this mirror right here of me, and it's showing me something that is not mine, that I believe that it was mine for so long. So this is where it comes, like, you know, that sensation of, I don't know what to do with all this information, I'm just gonna hide, you know. And then it goes into hiding, and it takes a little bit of time, because in that excavation process, and it stops to integrate. This is what happens. It stops to integrate. And it's okay to be like, I'm not ready to see this right now. It's totally fine. It's part of the journey. Then there's this integration process. That's when it happens. And then when it's ready to continue to excavate and continues to excavate, the same thing happens with the masculine, you know? So if the masculine has been just obsessing over the feminine and just kind of like treating the feminine like not divine, you know, it's just like, whatever, you're just that thing, it will show it to it, you know, it will show it to it. And it's also that moment of like, the masculine tends to have more guilt, you know, it's like, oh crap, I did that. Ooh, I don't even know how to forgive myself. Am I even forgivable? You know, so this is the part of the masculine, and it's just like, I don't know, I just messed up, and all these kinds of things are happening. And so here comes like the bigger transformation, because as the masculine realizes that, and as the masculine actually forgives itself, knowing that it was okay, you know, like it really just, it was doing the things that, the best things that it could do as it continued to go through life and whatever else happened in the process. As the masculine actually forgives itself, then it really, a bigger portal opens up for the feminine, because then the masculine is actually holding the feminine. So the feminine can continue to realize itself, where the masculine loves the feminine, you know? So the more that they're getting closer and closer to each other, the masculine has been shedding all these layers of guilt and shame, and then is able to expand its energetic arms. This is really cool what is being shown. These energetic arms, and then just like, even if the feminine is not even aware of that, it feels it, you know, that energy feels it, and it feels more like, okay, I am supported. You know, whenever you feel those energies are like, oh, I feel really supported, and I don't even, there's nothing around me. It's your own energies. It's the masculine that is embracing the feminine, and the feminine is like, I got this. I don't even know where this is coming from, but I got this. And then it continues to go and moves until they actually are in front of each other, if we want to call it that, and they see each other as divinity. You know, there's no more the push and pull, there's no more of these things. It is like, wow, you have been showing me all of this all along, and here I am, and I see you and you see me, and I love you and you love me. And then now this is where the beautiful dance and the union, the sacred I almost said this in Spanish, you know, I'm just going to say in Spanish, the sacred matrimonio happens, you know, and it's just this beautiful dance. So this is what happens energetically. Now in the body, you know, it could be like some aches, like in the chest and the shoulders opened up. So like depending of like how deep your process goes, and also how further in a way along you are, you know, the body might start cracking, you know, like the arms might be pulling out, and then there's all this sensation of like, what in the world is going on? Because it is the intelligence of your being, as all these energies are looking at each other and working towards each other towards the union, that the body begins to release and go back into its balanced state, you know. So at times you have seen me during live videos and my neck is cracking and doing all these things. It is because the energy is clearing and the body just moves itself, you know. So this is what happens. Like, and it's so amazing. It's so fascinating. This actually happens to all of us. And right now, this is like the dance that is going on in the heart space, you know. So if you have been feeling just like these little sensations in the heart, or maybe just little subtles, or even also in the dream space, that is a real space, you know. It's not just like a dream that comes and you're trying to figure out. It's a real space that you access as the physical body is, you know, relaxing and resting. Like even like subtle messages through all of that, because everything is working in unison in your being. And so when you really just come, or like put your sticky note around that everything is working divinely for you, for your growth, no matter what happens, then you're grateful for it. Because now here goes the thing. that, if like these two energies are doing their dance and are releasing to come into union, the masculine and the feminine energies, and then here you are in front and you are totally pushing those things away, you don't want to feel these energies, it's too much, that you're actually putting at this wall, this energetic wall between these two energies, so they cannot come into union, right? So whenever there's something like somewhat intense happening, these emotions that come up or these memories come up, and then you're like, oh goodness, I just don't want to feel this right now, or I don't want to think about this, So what you're doing is you're just like putting this like, this wall or this like button, this is what I'm being shown, this kind of like button thing that it clogs the energetic channels, it stops it. And it's like, nope, you're not going to move. And so it begins to get thicker and thicker and thicker the more that you fight it, the more that you're fighting, until like this normally happens, until that it's just like too much to bear and too much to control, to keep it in, that you cannot do it anymore, and then you just surrender. And when you surrender, that's when the explosion of that, because there's all those energies in the energetic channels that are pushing that button that you put for not feeling those emotions. So there's like the pressure, it builds, it builds, it builds, and builds until you surrender, and that moves, because there's too much energy passing through, too much pressure, just like when you're like shaking a can of pop, right? And then you just open, it goes like this. It's the same thing, because the pressure builds up until you're just like, I can't do this anymore, and you surrender, and then this is where like a lot of times, you're just like releasing so much because you were fighting yourself all along. That is fighting yourself, the personal consciousness that is experiencing this reality as you, right? Like, is fighting what is happening in the union of the masculine and the feminine energies within yourself. So this is a war, it's a war. Perhaps you're not aware that it's actually happening, but that's the definition of wars. You're going against each other because you believe that something is better for you, and these divine energies, really feel that this is best for you. But so, who is right here, right? So are you being controlled by the ego? Are you just saying like, I don't want to feel this just because of all the guilt and all the shame and all the pain that happened in the previous times and in those memories, that you just believe that it's best for you not to feel those, when these energies are divinely guided, because for them there is no such thing as good or bad. They're just doing their thing, and doing their dance. And so now here comes the point, again, surrender. I invite you to surrender for sure, because otherwise you are blocking that flow, right? And so blocking the flow, what it does as well, not only does it create the tension and that explosion whenever you're just like, but it's also just not allowing your energetic flow to move, right? So the energetic channels begin to get clogged, and then some part is not working as best as it could. So then another part has to work over time to just keep your body in balance. And because this part is working over time, then the other part has to work over time to also hold space for this part that is working over time. So it just becomes all these things, rather than just saying like, okay, I'm gonna sit with this, even if it's 5 minutes, or even if it's 10 minutes, even if it sucks balls, I'm gonna sit with this, because I know what I do when I say no. I'm blocking everything. I'm blocking my growth. This is what happens. You block your growth whenever you just say like, whatever, I'm not going to feel it, Of course, there's time and space, when you can just be like, okay, it's like if you don't feel ready, you can just tell your system, because it's so intelligent. It's so intelligent. You can tell your system, can you just wait 5 minutes? Maybe you're driving, who knows? It has happened to me. It's like, can you just wait 5 minutes until I get home? Or can you just wait until I'm done with this meeting? But like knowing that, the flow of life, right? Life always knows what to do, and it's always at the perfect timing. It's the same thing in you, because those energies are not separate from life itself. It's not separate from the energies that actually allow, like a flower to bloom or a tree to come and all the fruits to fall off the tree. It's the same energy. It's just that, as a personal consciousness, sometimes we believe that we know what's best for us, And that's okay, you know, it's completely valid. But this comes also from the ideas of like how we grew up and how society told us to be, or what society thinks that is best for us, right? But in reality, your own system knows what is best for you. And this is why it's so important to really be in tune with you, with your being, you know, because something that might actually be very good for you might not be good for me, you know. Like there's some people that don't need a schedule and they can just flow and do all these things. Like I must have a routine because otherwise I'm just in the ethers and I'm missing this life. You know, it could be very similar to you. It could not be very similar to you. So this is what is going on. So get to know your being, you know, and you do that. How do you do that? You do that through meditation, right? You do that to actually access in the mirrors of yourself, which at times, of course, you know, at the beginning it could be like, I don't know, this is too intense. But, you know, is that how you grow, you know? Because then you're looking at aspects of you that are not actually yours. And because they're not yours, and then you had believed for so long that they were yours, that's the reason why it's intense. But after you pass through that, it is just like, oh, cool, I got this. This is what's going on, you know? The beautiful opening in the heart. The beautiful opening in the heart. The merge of the two energies. That they have actually been doing this pretty much your entire life. But now is the point where they're just like so ready to be in union, so ready to have that matrimony. And for you to experience yourself different in a very deeper way, you know, in a very deeper way, without conditions, without stories, just as you are, which it might actually be completely different than the person that you are now. And that is actually the scary part of the personal consciousness, because the ego is like, ooh, no, we're like this. We are like this. So no. What do you mean? We haven't been ourselves. So here's the trick, right? We haven't been ourselves. So here is where those like scary thoughts come. And that's okay. You know, we all go through something similar. You know, I've definitely gone through those parts of like, what do you mean I haven't been myself? But that's like the beauty of the journey, you know, really being comfortable with the unknown, because it brings you so many surprises that you couldn't even fathom, honestly. And that's the beauty of this journey. Such a powerful and amazing journey. I think there's something else coming through because I feel it in my heart. So before we go into this, you know, so if you are one of my subscribers from my email, check your email, because I sent something really powerful that is only open for this week, only for subscribers, and then I will be opening it for the rest of our beautiful family. So it's just a really opportunity to get to know yourself deeper, and I'm really excited for that, because when everything was coming through, I was like, oh my gosh, whoa. Whoa. Okay. So take care. Here's what I'm hearing. So like, take care of your heart, okay? And the thing is, there is so much going on in the space of like, you know, in the ethers of like this war like thing, right? So of course it's a representation of ourselves, like the war that happens within ourselves, but also the war that is happening in the planet, really. So take care of your heart. What it means is like, surround yourself by people that actually lift you up, rather than the people that push you down, right? So if you have been hanging out or still talking to people that you just don't really resonate with, and it's not really serving you, and you're feeling it, but you don't even know how to do, because perhaps you've been like friends with them for a really long time and you don't want to lose that connection, you know, it's time to let it go, because it's not serving you. But at the same time, know that like those kind of connections will never really like disappear, right? Because we're always connected. Perhaps at the moment it's letting go for a little bit, and then you will come back and meet each other in a different route, in a different highway, where then you can actually like be with one another and just share from the space of the heart, okay? So this is what it is: healthy boundaries. As all these energies, the masculine, the feminine, and coming into union, you know, it's very important for you to feel safe. For you to feel safe in your own body, for you to feel safe in your own home, for you to feel safe with the people that you surround yourself with, right? And so, the more that we continue to grow, the more that you continue to go through this awakening process, like people will shed off your life, and that's normal and that's okay, because you're accessing a higher path than perhaps them. It doesn't mean that they're not on the path, but they're just in a different vibration as you continue to grow. And some of us can actually go like super quick, while the other ones are going like a little bit gentle. And again, that's okay, but like honor where you are in the journey. Because then if you are like, and this is an example of like vibrations, not saying that one is better than the other one, but so if you're up here and somebody's down here and you continue to just go, there's no space for you to grow here. You're given space, of course, for this person to grow, which is really good, if that's what your intention is for. But if you want to continue like to elevate, you will have to find somebody that is vibrating equally to you in the same range. So then both of you can help each other elevate. Both of you can help each other rise. And then this is how you attract more of your soul family that are vibrating at the same level, because you have soul family in different levels, right? They will guide you through different steps. And then the more that you continue to elevate your vibrations, the more that you will send signals for your other soul family to pop up. It's just literally like being a candle, You light up your candle and it's like, I'm ready. And then here they come. And then you continue to grow, and then you light up the other candle, be like, I'm ready, and then you continue to grow and like call upon them. So again, healthy boundaries, but also like take care of what really means for you to love, for you to love yourself, for you to love other people, for you to love your work, for you to love your space. If for you like to love your work is actually, or your space, to have it very like clean and once in a while rearrange things, like do so, right now, like the moon is in Virgo, so like it's an earth element, so it's very grounding. So do those things that connect you with the earth, that connect you with your own physical body. This is your earth, and just doing grounding exercises, doing like things that actually make you feel home. A home within your home and a home within your home, your physical body. So that will actually help you be more in tune with the heart space, right? So when we think about the earth is just like the grand figure of the mother. She's constantly giving, she's constantly nurturing, she's constantly holding us. So this is what we can access during the times where the moon are in earth elements, right? Like I was saying, like in Virgo. So just, hold yourself, make yourself comfy, make yourself some hot cocoa or something. Wherever you are in the world, maybe you're in the opposite, on the solar hemisphere that is a little bit warmer now. So yeah, and I think that's what I have for today. Let me see if there's anything else coming. Yeah, that's it. Cool. I'm actually like, and this is like a side note, I'm preparing for this hair ceremony and I'm really excited. I've been sitting with this for weeks, honestly, and it's a celebration of me and the marriage of these two energies within myself, and I've never done something like this in my life before. So it went from feeling like the fear, to the excitement, because they are like the vibrations of the same coin, excitement and fear, and so like I'm really excited to do that. I will be doing that on Thursday with a beautiful sister here. She's been holding space for me as I'm walking through this process, and I feel the power, and this is what happens in the marriage of these energies, You feel your own power, and it's not a power that it's just like will put people down. It's the power of yourself, that you are very confident and strong within yourself and what you do and what you came here to do and how you show up, and how also you not show up, because at times you might not want to show up and be by yourself, and that's okay, but just like being very comfortable with your being. And that is something that comes through as we continue to allow those marriage to come and to actually merge, because that's really what it is about, for you to be very balanced in yourself, so the elements within yourself are balanced, so then you can see the fruits of all your hard work outside of you, not just inside. And so I'm very excited, and I will share that with you as it, gets closer. And probably on Friday, you'll see it on Friday. Okay, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. It's such an honor, such a pleasure. I honestly, you have no idea. I always look forward to a live video because I have no idea what is gonna come through, and I just love sharing the messages to come and whatever is being shown to me, because if it's shown to me, it's shown to all of us, not just myself, Okay. If you have any questions, or if you need some assistance with anything in your awakening process, send me a message and then we can chat. I love you. Have a beautiful week. Ciao, peace.